Mirasee.
I'm Samantha Riley and you're listening to Making It. I run a business at SamanthaRiley.global and we work with experts to help them be known as the leaders in their industry. So it all began back when I was only 20 years old and I was working in a corporate job, and whilst I hadn't been in that very long, I discovered very quickly it wasn't the place for me. I looked around the office and no one was smiling, and it was like I was looking into my future, and it was not a future that I wanted. So I'd been dancing since I was 6 years old. I had been teaching or assisting teaching since I was 13. So for me, when I decided I wanted to go in business, that was the easiest decision. I didn't do any research into businesses. In my head, I just thought, I've danced all my life. I've got all the skills necessary. I'll open a dance studio. So that's what I did. In hindsight, maybe I would have done it a little bit differently. But for our very first business, that was the easiest business to go into. So once I decided that I wanted to open a dance studio, and this was back in the early 90s, we printed off on our home computer, which was, an old Microsoft. I think it was something like a 486 in those days. And we printed off some little flyers and we took them to a printer to photocopy. And myself and my husband went and walked the streets for days, just putting those little flyers in letterboxes, because I didn't know any different. We also didn't have any money. We had 2 young children. We were only young. And that's how we got started. We just hustled and did what we knew, which back then was not very much. So we opened the dancewear store only 6 months or 12 months into the dance studio, and the dancewear store really took off. And I believe one of the reasons that we did so well is because I also had this understanding from the teacher's side, but also from the dance parents' side. So I was able to understand what the parents wanted, but also as a dance teacher, I was also able to fill the gaps and say, hey, this is what you need. We got traction in that industry. In hindsight, it was quite quickly. At the time, it didn't feel like it was quick. It felt like it was slow and a grind, but we were able to move premises 3 times very quickly and grow the physical space of the store. We got to a point where we acquired a competitor. They actually rang us and said, look, we know that you're expanding really quickly. We need to get out of the industry because of a family illness, and asked if we would like to buy that store, which at the time was losing a lot of money. But because we were already in the industry, we had a look at the numbers and realized that we could come in and be able to turn it around quite quickly. And we did. We grew those businesses to well over $1 million back in the 90s. We were able to then open up another store. So there was 3 stores, and we were the top 10 dance stores in Australia. Now, just to put that in perspective, we were in one of the smallest cities in the country. So we grew it quite quickly through, understanding so many different pieces of the business. I realized I made it in that particular industry when we were flown to Sydney as one of the top 10 stores in the country. And we were introduced to all of the dance royalty at the time, all of the people of the dance companies. We went to a big dance award and we were met by all sorts of amazing people. That's when I realized, I guess, that we had made it in that industry. But interestingly enough, I never ever sort of thought I had made it, because I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking to grow. So back in 2010, I had been in the dancewear industry. I also had been in a health and wellness industry. And my business partner was my husband, and we separated and divorced. I went through a huge change. I went not just from a professional standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. I had been married since I was 17. So for the first time in my adult life, I'd found myself on my own. And it was like I'd opened up the book and I had a blank page. So rather than think, oh my goodness, everything has gone, I looked at it and went, I've got this blank page. How do I now create this life that I want for myself? And that's when I went into coaching. It's not something that I chose. It actually chose me. I would do health and wellness retreats with my clients and looking at all different areas of their life. And one of those areas was career. And at the end of the retreats, I would have all of my questions around how did I start a business? How do I run business? So organically, I ended up with more clients in business coaching that I did in health and wellness coaching. So the universe just placed in my lap exactly what I was meant to be doing and what it is that I loved and had not really seen the signs. So that business between 2010 and 2012 just organically took off, and I've been helping people to become known as the industry experts since then and helping them to really grow and scale their business. I think it's really important for people to realize what their purpose is and what the legacy is that they want to leave, because when people really tap into that, that's when everything starts to shift. When they're not really sure of what their purpose is or the legacy that they want to be living every day, I find that they're not playing at the game. They're not playing the game at the level that they really are able to play and the level that they really, really deep down want to be playing. Business isn't just this one little piece. Our business is all pieces of us. When we're healthy, when we're well, it's our mindsets, our relationships, our business, our career, our finances. They all come together. And I believe that a lot of people try and deal with all of these different areas in their life in a silo, and it doesn't work like that. If you want to be more healthy, it doesn't matter that you just, put your runners on in the morning and go for a run or eat healthy. If you're sitting down all day in your job, if you're unfulfilled, if you're struggling to pay the bills and you're stressed, everything has this knock-on effect in all of these different areas of our life. So we do need to look at life holistically to really bring everything into balance. And when I say balance, there isn't a magical line there where we're not balanced or we are. This is different for everyone. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that everything feels good to us. Until I was probably around 40, making it to me was having the financial freedom and the time freedom to be able to spend with my family, to be able to take my kids traveling around the world, to put them into fantastic schools. Once I reached the after 40, making it to me is helping other people achieve that. So helping my clients achieve the financial freedom and lifestyle freedom that they want, because my goal is to have everyone in the world happy in what they're doing because they're doing things by choice. Because I know that when parents are happy, children are happy, friends are happy, that the world will literally change. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm Samantha Riley, and you've been listening to Making It. You can find me at SamanthaRiley.global. That's Samantha Riley, RILEY.global.
Making It is part of the Mirasee FM podcast network, which also includes such shows as Course Lab and Just Between Coaches. This episode of Making It was produced by Danny Burmant and Jeff Govertson. Cynthia Lamb is a supervising producer. Danny Inney is our executive producer. Post-production by Post Office Sound. So you catch the great episodes that are coming up on Making It, go ahead and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now. And if you like the show, please leave us a starred review. It's the best way to help us get these ideas to more people. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.